This is a vision board. And on the board, you write down. This is what I write down. This is what I wrote down in my house for my kids and everybody to see. Oh, I might spell that wrong. Oh, is it right? I can't see, probably so. But this is my slogan every day, right here. It is possible. It is possible. That's one of my slogans for my company. That's the slogan that I tell every young person, black, white, Chinese, American, don't matter. It is possible, because if you believe in yourself and you keep seeing this every day, you'll be amazed at how high you can go. Like I said, I'm not supposed to be here. I'm not supposed to be here. The kid who came from the project, the kid who was homeless, the kid who was in gangs, the kid who been shot at, the kid who got into so many fights, it was ridiculous. Now look at me. It is possible. Dreams do come true. All you gotta do is have faith and believe. Look at me. Come from the project to the shelter system, being homeless, being on welfare, to having my own company right here in Wall Street. And to be African American and have my own company in Wall Street. People work for me. I love it. Because people said I wouldn't be nothing, and now here I am. Dreams do come true. All you have to do is believe. And not let people tell you what you can't do. You have to have tunnel vision. Like a horse with blinders on, you have to have tunnel vision and keep the dream going forward. You have to believe in yourself even though people will tell you no. Cannot let people deter you from your dream. Because if they don't live in a house that you want, they don't drive the car that you want, or live in the neighborhood that you want, or their children going to the type of schools you want your child to go to, don't take their advice. Stop taking advice from people that don't have finances. Miss Hardy, I appreciate you for coming.
Thank you.
Little brother, I appreciate it, okay? You remember what I said, right?
Okay.
Don't let nobody deter you away. I'm also doing a fishing trip also for young men. You know, where I just take them right there to Cross Bay, teach them how to fish.
Okay.
Even if they don't catch anything, it's just the whole excitement of maybe I might catch something.
Exactly.
You know?
Anything's possible.
Right, anything is possible. Anything is possible. All right, so I'm gonna text your mom and ask her, can I, come get you? And even if your mom want to come or your dad want to come, I really would like the dads to come. Because that shows a child that, you know what, we're not all the same.
Right.
There's a difference between being a father and a provider.
Mm-hmm.
Being a father, you're doing everything.
Mm-hmm.
Everything. With my son, I would take him fishing, I'd take him everywhere with me. Everywhere. But I told my kids, I told them all, my oldest daughter to my youngest, I said, all the things that I do for you guys, all the stuff that I do for you, if you ever in your life try to put me in a nursing home when I get older, it's going to be a misunderstanding. It's going to be some furniture moving around here. You know how blessed you are, man, to have your mom go with you to the STEM program in Jersey?
Yeah.
I mean, I really admire that, because I admire any woman who invests in her child's education. My mom didn't do that. And when I did graduate from college, my mom came to my graduation and she told me, she says, you lucky you got here on time, because I was getting ready to leave. My own mother said that to me. You were looking at a guy who grew up in an abusive household, was sleeping in the park bench, eating out of a garbage can, lived in a shelter system 4 times on Atlantic and Bedford Avenue and various other shelters. Had family members tell me, you can't come stay with me because you're gonna run up my bills. Family, people you grew up with. But look at me now. College degree, successful, trying to build my brand up, build my business up, and to be African American and own my own company in Wall Street.
On my summer camp, we're doing things in New York. My classroom is Wall Street.
Well, this is Wall Street. Welcome. And the thing I love about it is that when you're your own boss, you can dress any way you want. That's what I love about it. Majority of the time I'm in a suit, but today I've been up since 3 o'clock in the morning doing things, so I'm really tired. But I wanted to meet you and talk to you because there's something that I'm working on right now. You ever heard of Cape Canaveral? Cape Canaveral?
No.
It's in Florida.
I have, yes.
You have one,
Yes,
right?
yes.
Okay. Cape Canaveral has the Kennedy Space Center.
Sort of similar to the one you,
It's like where the spaceships take off,
Oh.
yeah.
the rocket ships that go to the moon and so forth. This is where they take off. What I want to do, I'm building it up now, but what I want to do is I want to send him to space camp.
Okay.
I'm going to invest in you because I see something in you. I'm going to send you to space camp, but I'll let your mom know when I get the funding from the government and so forth, and I'll do it. But you're going to go for 3 days. And when you go for 3 days, I want you to enjoy yourself. You know, you're going to learn how to moonwalk, literally, with no gravity. Yep.
I cannot wait for that.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
he likes doing the
Yeah.
other moonwalk.
See, you never know who you can become unless someone pushes you. You know, if your dream is to become an astrophysicist or aeronautical engineer, you can do it. My friend from college, funny story, my son name was Donovan, and my friend from college, his last name was Donovan. I named my son after my best friend from college, who I used to, he's white, right? With freckles, red hair. When I first saw his picture on the dorm, on the dorms, on the desk in the dorm, I thought he was racist. I was like, oh man, I got one of these howdy-doody country redneck racist people.
Oh no.
Come to find out, he was cool as ice. Real cool. I took him around New York, showed him New York and everything. And, you know, his dad was like, you need to hang out with him more. Now, he owns his own aerospace company. And I found him online. And I called him. And he said, Jamel? I said, what's up, man? He said, oh, shoot. And we started reminiscing about old times. And I asked him, so how you doing, man? I see you did it. He said, yeah, man, I did it. That's another project I'm going to be invested in soon. The bond that you have with your mom is awesome, man. I love it. When I saw the picture that you sent me of your son, I saw it, I said, that's what I'm going to do.
Wow.
I said, that's who I'm going to send to space camp
What picture was it?
The one
from New Jersey.
the envision one, the one, I think it was the one with I think you were in khaki. And you were standing by the,
So tell me, how did you enjoy the competition and everything out there?
I enjoyed all of it. Just all I wanted to do.
Yeah? That's great, man. So you made robots and stuff?
Yeah, made an envelope.
Oh, you made robots, okay. That's great. Mom, how'd you like it?
It was good in the sense that it was just a time for me to relax when he was having fun, but I guess it was good because I saw how much he loved how much he loved it, which I sort of figured, you know, that he would. That's why I really, you know, really wanted him to go, because I guess I'm like you in the sense of trying to let him understand that he can do anything, and he can be, you know, definitely whatever he wants to be.
Absolutely.
And I definitely try to tell him not to listen to all of those negative things, like what you mentioned, that you heard when people say you can't do this or you can't
Or
do
they're
that,
better than me.
or they're better than you. Like, okay, you know, because even, I mean, it's amazing how different it is, because even like from his age,
Yes.
you know, the kids, they say stuff.
Right.
that's So
Right.
like they
Mine is
they
like a
tell-
sponge, yeah.
Yeah,
Soak it up.
they tell you stuff, and that's what I'm trying to teach him, to have that. Just be like water off the duck's back. Just let it.
Yeah.
You be confident in yourself. Know who you are,
Mhm.
and you don't have to have those negative things try to.
How was the hotel experience? I never even heard that hotel before.
I never did either.
I love my hotel
Actually,
experience.
don't.
You like the hotel?
Don't even get him
Every-
started on
every-
the hotel.
I was wondering if you was gonna break something because they was gonna charge me.
No.
Every time after the hotel, every time after Stan Program, I would go right in the pool.
That was
good.
that was pretty much what they did, and it was good in that I never heard of the hotel, but it was I mean the accommodations were great, the environment, the place, everything was really good. I actually got the information from the College of New Jersey is the location where they actually kept the program. So their website just had, of course, like the hostess hotels and
Sure.
whatever, and that's how I saw it originally. It was really convenient in terms of getting to the college from there. It was just like a short, straightforward drive from there to get to there, which was good. And I guess what he also liked about it is that maybe it was like what, 5 or 6 other kids from the program were staying at the same hotel.
Yeah.
So it was, and I think it was like 2 or 3 that were actually in your group too, because they had them in different groups. So it just worked out that they had a bunch of the kids also staying there. A couple that he actually interacted with during the day as well. So they got to sort of have their, so that was sort of their thing. They, at the end of the day, they all got together and hung out at the pool, So that party definitely liked.
Did you even like to send her a note what your experience was when you came back? Did you call her?
Oh yeah. I see her all the time. Actually,
You see her?
I see her like, I think I saw her. When did we see her? Was that last Tuesday? Where were we at the National Nights Out?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, actually, so that was but I always see her around, because I mean the different events. Because I'm always like, I mean, in her area. So
Okay.
yeah, his school is there. She's even at his school.
Yeah.
I mean, that's her constituents are pretty much the same area we usually are. We are work where they go to school. So a lot of the different events and stuff that we go to.
So let me ask you a question. When she mentioned it to me, and I told her I would, fund it. What was your reaction when she said, or I don't know if you, like, hey, I have somebody who's going to pay for it. What was your reaction? And also, what was your reaction, I guess, when you looked at the website and you saw that this is owned by an African American?
Well, I think it was more like, I guess it was, I think at first it was like a relief when she said that, because it's sort of like it was, I was thinking, okay, I really want him to go there, but circumstances like sort of kept, like financially from getting him there, so so it's like I sort of, it was sort of like answer to a prayer, I would say, because of like, okay, I guess this you were really meant to go here because I really wanted you to go, but despite of whatever setbacks came up, it still sort of opened up a way. And I guess it was, I don't know if it made it better that it was sort of a last minute, although I wish it was from the beginning, because I mean we sort of started the process a while ago, but So in that respect, and definitely, I think I mentioned it to you too. When I saw who you were and what the program was, I thought it was. But it was. I was definitely impressed, but I was also sort of happy to see that someone could also give back to the community and give kids opportunities, because that's something that definitely, if I had the resources and the funding, something that I would want to do, as well, because I definitely think that the kids should really have definitely all those opportunities, and definitely be ready to face whatever future that they wouldn't have any sort of hindrance. If they want to do this, there would be nothing in their way. If I want to get here, that they'll know, okay, I can get there. So that was.
I've been out of college for so long, it's like, I'll have to hire a tutor. I do. I hire a tutor so the tutor can sit there, because me, I'll lose patience.
I know how that feels.
You do.
Yeah, because in school, I usually help kids in math.
Yeah. And for me, helping my kids, they're learning, like, they get ready to do a pre-calculus next semester and everything, and they're only in the 7th grade, 6th grade. They're learning high-tech engineering, mathematics, and all this stuff. I was like, oh boy.
You're getting there.
Yeah, they're getting there, and I don't force my kids. I want them to go to school. Well, they're in a school now where they don't have to worry about fashion, because they wear uniform all the time. They wear my kids wear a gym uniform 4 days a week, and they wear a regular uniform once a week.
Wow, okay.
They go to school from 7:30 in the morning until 6 o'clock in the evening. Regular school time is from 7:30 until 4. Then they have after school tutoring, then they have volleyball, basketball practice. A whole full day. By the time my kids come home, they're ready to pass out. You want me to cook something for you guys? No, just get us some pizza, Dad, please.
I know what dad feels playing basketball a long time. He just want to relax.
And I told my kids, I said, listen, this school that you're in, there's a lottery to get in here when they first applied.
Right, yeah.
My kids were number 78 when they got into the school. Out of 1,000-something kids that apply, only 300 get selected. Actually, no, 240 get selected. And it hurts me when I see that there's not enough people of color there. There's mostly Italian, Irish, Indian, Korean, Chinese, everything, except for us.
Yeah.
And then you look at what we are doing as a people, is so much negativity. I told my kids, I said, people expect you to be a statistic. They expect you to fail. They expect you to be incarcerated. They expect you to do a whole bunch of negative things. They expect you to curse out the police so you can get shot. This is what the media portrays us to be. I have my cameraman here to, do the interview, but where's the news people at? Right? To show that you have a good, upstanding young man here who has a bright future. He could be the next great rocket scientist or something. The next best engineer. Let's follow him for 10 years. Let's see where he's going to go. But no, they want to show us getting shot, getting arrested, beating up your girlfriend, doing stupid YouTube challenges. Yeah. For every one person that tell you can't be nothing, it's like you need 16 people to tell you that you are something. And for me, when I got older, I started to, before that I used to believe all that mess. But until I got older, then I realized, wow,
That's too much power to give somebody,
Mm.
right?
Yeah.
That's too much power to give one person. Oh, you ain't gonna be nothing. Now, if a person tell me that, oh, you're stupid. Why do I even listen to you?
Mm-mm.
You know? Next year I'm gonna be doing, hopefully, a scholarship giveaway where I would do a black tie function,
Mm.
you know, at a nice resort in Long Island,
Okay.
and have the kids in the Masters of Impossibilities Foundation program to give them $5,000, $2,000 towards college, but I will put it in a 529 plan with Charles Schwab, so the money accumulates over the course of them being in school.
Right, right.
So when it's time for him to go to college, even if he might get a scholarship to college, he could still use this funding to use for books, whatever.
Right.
So he doesn't have to call you and say, "Ma, can you send me some honey buns?" You know, my daughter's in college right now, and she asked me, she said, "Dad, can you send me some honey buns?" I said, "Really?" She said, "Yeah, because my daughter's in school in Europe. She's learning finance in Europe, you know, to help me run my company when she gets out."
Okay.
And I said, "You want me to send you honey buns?" I said, "All right." So I sent her 4 boxes of honey buns. Within a week, she had 1 box left. Oh yeah, you're gonna miss your mom's food when you go to college. Trust me. Yeah,
Let's see.
you're gonna miss all that good
He
food.
likes honey buns.
All that good food, you're gonna miss all of it, but enjoy it now.
Well, thank you. Great meeting you.
You too.
Definitely
You
thank
too.
you for
Yes.
believing in him as much as I do.
Absolutely, absolutely. I see it in him.
Yes.
See, right now, he's a kid, but I see King David in him.
Yeah, yeah,
You know? You have to have somebody see the king in you,
yeah.
and then you can progress and go on.
Well, I'm definitely,
Yeah.
definitely
think about-
from your story, I'm glad you
Thank you.
definitely, you know, became who you became and you're giving back.
Thank you so
That's
much.
definitely for me.
Thank you. When I was staying at the shelter on Atlantic and Bedford, I used to, well, I had left there, you know, but I used to keep my ID card, right? I used to keep my ID card, and every day I would look at it because it reminded me of where I came from. It reminded me of when I was homeless and you had to be in bed, you know, you had to be at the shelter at a certain time. I think it was like 7:30 to get a bunk and get a meal, you know, and it was Foot Locker bed, you know, and to go through that and then to gotta fight over. Do you see this ink pen?
Mm-hmm.
This little ink pen right here will cause so many problems in the homeless shelter, especially in the morning when you gotta sign in to speak to your counselor, to go get a Metro card or something like that. Just an ink pen alone, you dudes is fighting, trying to cut dudes in the face, all type of shit. It's real
That shit
stupid.
sound like jail, man.
Because it is. So many guys that come home from prison, when they don't have a place to stay, a lot of them go to the shelter system.
So they get paroled there.
Right. So, you know, that's basically like what it is. It's like you got a lot of guys that's psychologically messed up, a lot of guys down on their luck, like I was. Then you got guys that just come home from jail. They come back home with that if you've been locked up in the 80s and you come home in the 90s, you got that still 80s style mentality. But you have to realize there's a new dawn, there's a new day and age. You can't come with that, oh, I'm coming back to take over the block, because the young boys that's on the block is like, you done, homie. Like you mad I had a rep when you was out. But ain't nobody gonna respect that right now. That's why a lot of dudes that come home from jail get killed. Because they try to take over instead of growing. Can't be stacking in one place in your life. You have to open up your mind. You can't just have your mind set on one thing. I try to tell people, if you take what you learn from hustling in the street and you apply it to the corporate world, you will be very successful, because this is what they do in a corporate setting.
Mm-hmm.
But you don't have to look over your shoulder.
And it's clean money.
It's clean money, and you can give your child that great lifestyle, that great school, that great tutoring, that great everything. You know, you want to go to Miami every weekend, you want to go to South Beach every weekend, you can. You want to go to Paris, you know, I told my kids, I said, all right, everything that's in your world history book, we gonna visit every single place. So when you go to school and your teacher tells you, okay class, we're gonna talk about the pyramids of Giza. Oh, I went there with my dad. Oh, let me tell you what's over here. Oh, that's not really true, but this is over here. I want my kids to see it and touch it. I want my kids to see the Colosseum in Rome. I want them to see the Leaning Tower of Pisa. You know, I want my kids to see all of that. You know, I told my kids, I said, listen, you guys have been to 4 countries in a month. I took you to 4 countries in 1 month. I said, some people never even leave New York, period. You know, I try to create great memories for my children, man, because my memories of growing up was so harsh, so bad. You know, so much violence, so much abuse, so much killing that was around me. And my kids don't know the hood at all. I'll drive to the hood in the morning, let my kids see what the projects and everything look like, see what the elevator looks like, and then I'll leave. And I'll let them know, like, listen, this is how I grew up and this is how daddy's raising you. I don't want you kids to be living this lifestyle. This ain't for you. This is not normal. Living like a rat chasing cheese. You know, it's more important for kids in the hood to have foam posits and Jordans than to teach your child about education. And a lot of people get mad at other people, especially minorities, get mad at each other for people trying to spread wisdom. Like, people forget, like, our ancestors were killed because they were trying to learn how to read a word. You know, they were killed for the stupidest stuff. Voting, you know, people died, blacks died for voting because they didn't count us in the census. You know, people forget, I blame the parent because the parent should have taught their child where you come from, your history, your generational history, your great-grandparents. They came from the South. They migrated to New York. This is where we live at, boom, boom, boom. Like, people don't even know the projects was created during the time, I think it was Lyndon Baines Johnson. I think it was, it might be getting it wrong, but a president had created the project because when when it was going on in Vietnam, a lot of the soldiers went to war. And they was saying, and he made a statement saying, okay, basically, you could live in a project and your rent will be dirt cheap, but you cannot have a man live with you. And that rule is still in effect today, because if a man move in with a female in the project, if her rent would be $200. As soon as a man move in, the rent gonna jump up to $1,400 in the project. I met this lady, she told me she lived in a project. I said, oh, okay, you know, we was talking. I said, how much you pay? So I paid $1,800. I was like, what? You pay $1,800 to live in a project? And you got Bloods and Crips fighting each other over nothing? Territory that's not even theirs? And you got your children in that? She was like, yeah, what I'm gonna do, you know? I said, miss, you got a car? She said, yeah. I said, why don't you move to Long Island? You can rent a house in Long Island for that. Where you got a backyard, you can barbecue any way you want, anytime. You know what I'm saying? You could put a swimming pool back there for your kids. You know? You got a driveway where you ain't gotta look for parking, deal with that alternate side parking shit. I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. My people perish for the lack of knowledge, man. People don't understand, you know, people get mad at Koreans, Indians, you know, even some Dominicans and Puerto Ricans. It's like all different nationalities of people come together. Like when I drive through the neighborhood, sometimes I see a whole bunch of Koreans working on one building, a brownstone. They come over here, they bust their ass for 10 years, now they multi-millionaires. And I'm like, damn,
How our people can't see that? How are we raised up living here in the United States, living in the hood, and be settled with living in the hood? I can't do it. Some people love that lifestyle, but I can't do it, man. I can't. I can't have my kids being in fear of hearing gunshots every damn night. You know, I have, I'm going to be doing a scholarship giveaway next year, God willing, you know. And, you know, but I'm starting it with him and my nephew, sending him to Cape Canaveral to go to space camp. You know, I'm just starting a whole lot, you know, doing a lot of stuff for these kids. You know, things that I wish that I have done, well, not wish that I have done, but things that I wish that was done for me, I'm doing for them.
Yeah.